Hello there.
Well, hello there, troopers, and welcome back to General Economics Bunker. Thank you so much for joining us here on this fine Wednesday night. Yeah, we're starting to get back into our own, get back into our regularly scheduled shenanigans here on Wednesday night. So hope that your Wednesday is going great. Hope that the middle of the week is going great. And as always, I am joined here by my partner in crime, Mike D. Dad Vader. What is going on, brother?
What is up, man? Are you dry? Did you get warmed up? I know we had some crazy storms recently.
Dude, yeah, what the heck?
Kind of
I
wild.
actually,
Yeah.
yeah, I actually had a couple of friends from out of town. Like, hey man, you okay? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, is it zombies? Like, because I need to know if it's zombies. Like, what do you guys heard? And they're like, no, man, just the floodings and stuff. I'm like, huh. And I turn on the news, and sure enough, I was like, whoa. Now don't get me wrong, we got, or at least here in the area, we got I'd say about maybe 2.5 days of just straight, storms. I was trying
Not
to
drizzle,
record.
like hammered.
Yeah, no, like full on, and like, well, I think at least for me, it kind of started like more as an electric storm. Like there was like no rain, but there was a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
thunder, a lot of lightning, like kind of crazy. Um, and then the rain came like the next day, and then it didn't really go away. But no, luckily we didn't flood or anything. Like I said, I drove to work, drove to the office quite a bit. Didn't really hit any snag on the way. So like I said, when a couple actually of buddies of mine like texted me, like, hey man, you doing okay? Like everything all right? I'm like, yeah, I guess so. But
I
yeah,
think it
then
was
I
more
saw the
north.
news.
Yeah, I think it was
Exactly.
more north of us that got like the crazy, because that has more of the. I guess the road does more of a dip.
Yeah,
And then downtown for sure. But on our
dude.
side,
Yeah.
same thing. Like there's only one spot, Leon Valley, that I noticed that
Oh yeah.
part of the road got washed out a little bit, but it was on the shoulder, like not the
hmm
main road. But it just goes to show you that the power of water is crazy.
Dude, I mean, um, one article that I saw, it said that some people actually like passed away, dude, like
Yeah.
during the floods. I was like, what the heck is going on? um yeah, I mean, of course, cars got totaled, and things like that, like people trying to I guess cross a deeper pond than they initially thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of crazy, dude. But no, like I said, luckily no real issues here. uh I mean, power flickered like a couple times, but that was about it. We didn't even lose power. The only like inconvenience I would say is that I was trying to record a video and every other word was just like like just the sound of like thunder. I'm like, dang it, man.
Yeah.
So
Try to
I
edit
gave
that
up. I
sound
was like,
out.
yeah, exactly. So I was like, whatever. Because then you would hear sometimes like even the windows like rattle. Like some of those were
Mhm.
like close. Um, but it was kind of nuts. Like I said, luckily here in our area, not so bad. But yeah, I mean, hopefully, the people are that were affected, are doing better. But yeah, so thank you again for joining us here another episode of the High Ground. We got a couple of news that we want to talk about tonight, but first I want to jump here into the chat. So let's see. First of all, we got Marta in the house. Welcome, appreciate you. We got Ultra in the house. What is up, man? Thank you for joining us. Hey, what is going on? Sexy Flexy in the house. What's up, brother? Appreciate you joining, man. As always, Freezy, sub General Vader. What's going on, man? Ultra saying hi to Flex saying hi to Ultra talking about his WWE Ultimate Edition figures, the Usos. Um, so from Walmart, man, where do you put all your stuff, Ultra? Because you got some pickups like pretty much every
He might
week.
have, I'm gonna say he might have a second house, because it seems
Yeah,
like
dude, seriously,
every week he's got like
right?
4 or 5 new figures coming in.
Dude, for real, must be nice. What's up, chat? Says Mike. Hey, look who it is. Chris, the captain of the Nerd Squadron, saying, what up, Bunker Munch? Welcome, brother. Appreciate you, man. Um, Ultra saying hi to Nerd Squadron, and Nerd Squadron saying hi back. Yo, look who it is. We got Bryant in the house. Had some time to tune in tonight. Hope to see you at SCCC. Yeah, dude, for sure. Um, It's kind of crazy you actually had time, brother, because man, you have been busy. So
Racking up those frequent flyer miles, I believe.
dude, yeah, I mean, this dude probably, has enough miles to fly like first class basically from here to Japan, and back and probably go again. Um, so yeah, dude, appreciate you joining, man. Thank you. It's good to see you, brother. And yeah, man, we gotta hang out. Hopefully at SDCC. If you're gonna be there, let me know. I will be there pretty much throughout the duration of the event. So we actually get there. Let me get this right. We get there Wednesday. Um, Trying to working on a preview night. If I'm lucky, maybe. But for sure, we'll be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yeah, pretty much the whole event, really. Um, Sunday, I forget what time we fly out, but it's not that early, so we should be there at the show also. And I do want to talk about some of the stuff that I'm already kind of like eyeing. I think Hasbro is cooking
Mhm.
finally. But yeah, thank you again, everybody, for joining us, and I hope that middle of the week is going great for you. And if not, hey, just hold on. It's just about the weekend. Um, I got a holiday tomorrow, which I didn't even realize like until last week. So I'm actually off tomorrow, which is weird. Um,
Oh, that is correct.
Juneteenth. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We get Juneteenth off, and I can't never say that word. I'm sorry. But yeah, so last week they're like, oh yeah, so just remember, next week is short week and stuff. I'm like, why? And so sure enough, I had to look it up on our official calendar. I'm like, oh snap! Like I got Thursday off, which I'm like, that Friday ain't nobody doing nothing.
Yep. Might as
I
well
mean,
just make it a 2-day holiday.
dude, seriously, some people left today. Like some people just took off vacation, which I guess is a good deal. You for two, if you trade in 2 vacation days, you get a 5-day weekend, so it's pretty sweet.
It's not bad.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, man. So I was like, dang it, I forgot. So nothing really planned, to be honest with you, except kind of cleared the bunker a little bit more. I will say this: over the weekend, I actually hammered down on clearing a lot of the stuff that I had. I've been filming the Japan whole. It's actually uploading right now. It's a big file. It's like over 6 gigs. Yeah, it's still not done. Actually, I'm looking at it right now. It's been going for like 40 minutes, dude, and it's still not up. Um,
Dang.
but yeah, it's a big it's a 26-27 minute video of me just showing obviously the stuff that I bought in Japan that wasn't on Star Wars Celebration, right? Like we already made a video about that one specifically. This is just like the other stuff, like from other stores and things like that. um but dude, it took me forever. Like, oh my lord, I had like all the stuff just laying around here, like on the floor, still in boxes, bags, things like that. Actually, I made a little behind the scenes video for our members, which, by the way, guys, we do have channel membership. So if you decide to support the channel, we would greatly appreciate it. You get some exclusive perks, you get some exclusive videos, like what I just mentioned. So yeah, think about it. Think about joining, and we appreciate it if you do. Um, and so yeah, so I even made a little video of like, guys, like this is bad. So after that, I was like, you know what, this has to end. Like I can't. I almost tripped, every time I come in here. Um, and so finally wrapped up, filming the video and stuff. And I was like, all right, this has to go somewhere. Like I gotta put it up, or I gotta put it into boxes or something. Like it just cannot be lying around anymore. Um, so yeah, it's not. I'm not gonna say it's clean, by like regular standards, but it's in comparison to like a week ago, it's very clean. um,
Goodness.
yeah. So yeah, tomorrow, probably just um trying to keep going. I have been doing a little bit of rearranging actually on my toy closet. Uh, been moving some stuff around, obviously trying to make some room for some of the stuff in Japan, right? That I brought from Japan. I definitely do want to display it. And yeah, some of the stuff trying to move around and make it look nicer. What else? Yeah, man, just really moving stuff around here. Like I said, it's obviously it's a constant battle, right? just between moving, cleaning, and also I don't know if you guys can see, I've started working on the Japan shelf right there on that detail, but I had to move the stuff that was there down to make that room. So the Ronin is in there. I don't know if you can tell by the box.
Yep.
Some of the miniatures are there. I'm not done. There's a couple more things, or actually more than a couple of things that I got to put in there. Don't ask me how they're gonna fit. But yeah, once I get that done, I'll put out a little video at least showing you guys what that looks like. Let's see here. Chris says, I'm jealous. I want to go to SEC, bro. I've always wanted to go. I mean, uh, for years now, of course. Even before I even dreamt or considered being a content creator. I mean, I've been a geek basically all my life. Um, so it's just one of those events. But to be honest with you, as I got like older, it just seemed to keep getting like further and further away, like out of reach. Um, because I'm like, you know what? It's just I don't even know how to get the tickets.
Yeah.
It's a massive event. Each year it feels like it grows more. I'm like, I don't like people. People don't like me. I'm like,
I don't like walking through a crowd like
yeah,
this.
exactly. Even last year, and we talked about it here at the time for Fan Expo Chicago. It was
Chicago.
busy, dude. It was real busy, and it literally got to that point where the main holds were like you're like shoulder to shoulder and just like trying to wedge yourself like out of the crowd. And dude, luckily, it wasn't like a huge space, right? Or where those sort of congestions were happening. Because I don't know that I would have, I might have had to bail. Like I'm like, you know what, I need to go outside and like touch grass or something because this is getting kind of
Just
crazy,
breathe.
dude. Seriously,
Oh,
very much so. I would go to like the far corners just to like, all right, no, I really do need to just like catch my breath.
yeah.
um and so yeah, so that's why like SDCC is like again, I'm super excited, but I'm also pretty nervous, right? Like just what to expect, um the
Just
scope of
stop
it
putting
all.
deodorant on from
Dude,
like
right,
here to
seriously.
do it, and then people will just make a room for you. You
Yes,
know what I
and
mean?
I'm like, dude, I'm
You're
I'm
like this the whole
naturally
time.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like creating my bubble like around.
Yep.
I'm naturally uninviting, so I think that that also helps. um but yeah, dude, I'm super excited. Like I said, first time first time is media again. Thank you to our brother Daniel from the Legacy of Nerd for allowing me to basically tag along and help him out. Of course, I mean, I'm not just going just because we're definitely going to be working out there. But also, first time is media, and then we're gonna be there pretty much the entire event, right? Like for 4 days, slash maybe a little bit of a fifth. Um, so yeah, again, super excited, slash nervous. Anybody, any SDCC veterans out there feel like sharing some tips? I'm all ears, definitely.
You might want to hit up Peter with the Star Wars
Yeah,
Association
you
here.
say he goes,
He
right? Pretty
goes like
much
every
every
year.
year. Yeah. I don't know how he does it with the tickets. I mean, I wonder if he picks them up on the resale or something, because I know they
Mm,
they get hard to get.
I mean, he's got R2, so maybe R2's hacking in there getting the tickets for him. I don't know.
There you go. Right, exactly. That's always good to have a astromech on your side.
True.
Sexy Flexi asking, you boys attending SpaceCon San Antonio? Okay, so this one is a complicated answer for me. Um, Whereas if it was any other, literally any other weekend in the entire year, I would say, bro, I am sleeping there. I'm not leaving the convention. However, they have decided yet again to make it on the weekend of my son's birthday. Um, and that kind of complicates things. He's not like super fan or super like into this like space stuff. I know I failed as a father in many ways,
Yeah, yeah. There's
but
still time. There's
yeah,
still
exactly. But the other thing is that we always have family from out of town like joining us for that weekend. So it's usually a packed house, man, with we just with like I said, just family visiting us. um So yeah, it feels kind of bad to just bail out and leave the wife, with everybody, to fend for themselves. Now, I'm not saying I'm not gonna do it. Like, I will go to SpaceCon. That I can almost assure you. I just don't know what day or days, plural, right, and for how long. So it's definitely in the books. It's gonna be a good show. Um, for me, especially the Starship Troopers cast, dude. I Starship Troopers is like my comfort food. Um, whenever
That
I'm feeling
movie's how
down,
old? How
dude.
old is
That
that movie?
that movie is freaking 96, 97.
Dang.
It's before 2000. I know that, like,
Yeah,
for a
yeah, it's
fact.
before 2000.
Yeah, but I want to say, I mean, I do have the compendium of human knowledge here at my fingertips, so
Oh yeah,
technically I
hello.
could look it up. Starship
I have the power
Troopers
of the universe in my hand
movie.
right here. I could
Dude,
easily just
seriously,
look
yeah.
it up.
I don't know why we even 1997. Okay, yeah, so I wasn't too far off.
Not too far off.
97, dude. So that's coming up on what, 30 years?
30, almost 30 years. Yeah.
Yikes.
And it's still like it. Like I'll see it on. Like I'll just be flipping, and I'll be like, "Oh, Starship Troopers." Let me sit down and watch it. Like I
Oh,
still sit
dude, for
down and just
sure.
go through it. That and Rocky. For some reason, like any
Oh yeah,
Rocky fan,
nice.
I gotta sit down and just watch it.
Uh, you know what? I haven't seen. Oh my lord, which one haven't I not seen? The last Creed movie. I have not seen
Yeah,
the
I haven't seen
last
that
one.
one either.
Yeah, I kind of need to. I actually enjoyed the first one a lot, like way more than I thought I was gonna. I went in just because I was like, I want to go to the movies. I don't know, there's not much. And dude, I walked out of there like pumped. I was punching
Yeah.
people in the like parking lot. I was like, dude, I'm ready.
Can I take
Let's
your
go.
popcorn bucket?
Yeah,
No.
exactly. But yeah, the first one I really enjoyed. The second one was fun too. Um, but yeah, I haven't seen the third one, if I'm being honest. So you reminded me when you said Rocky. Oh, but sorry, going back to my derailed thought. Um, Space Gun is bringing basically all the main guys for Starship Troopers, man. And I
Guys and
kind of,
gals.
yeah, oh
Guys
yeah,
and
yeah,
gals.
exactly, yeah. I should have said characters, right? Actors. Um, except for Neil Patrick Harris, which I guess that's still kind of tough, right? Um, but I kind of want that picture, man. I kind of want that picture with like all of them. Um, yeah. So I was heavily into Starship Troopers. I saw it in theaters. Dubious parenting, maybe. But
Not
it
bad.
was the 90s. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a
we
different
didn't
thing.
know.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, when my mom
We're
was
just trying
like,
to
"Huh?"
figure out what the ratings were. They're like PG,
Yeah,
R.
exactly. What does that even
All
mean?
these letters. Yeah,
And then yeah, and then the teenage
R for
kid at
ridiculous
the
fun.
yeah, right. The teenage kid at the booth, right, selling the tickets. He's like, I don't care. Like, I don't
Yeah.
get paid enough to care. So here you go. But yeah, I remember my mom was like, "Huh, these guys are getting literally torn apart, and it's not stopping. It's been 20 minutes and it's still going." I'm like, "Yeah, no, this is awesome."
This is the best
Um,
movie ever.
yeah, exactly, dude. I loved it, dude. Um, and again, I very much still do. So yeah, so SpaceCon will have, as the name says, various like space representative franchises. Obviously, Star Wars is going to be represented. Carrie Ann Moss is going to be here. We're going to have the one and only Lando Calrissian. The one and only, according to him, by the way. That's what he told us at
True.
ICCC. Yeah. So Billy D is going to be here in town, which is pretty cool. I feel that one, people will travel for that one. Starship Troopers, Star Trek, as I mentioned, some space Marvel, I guess, would be the
I
kind
mean,
of like
Marvel does cross into the space time continuum,
yeah.
different
So
universe things. So yeah,
they're how do you call it? They are space related characters, right, from Marvel.
yep.
That would be they would be attending SpaceCon. So it's gonna be a good show. Like for sure, it's gonna be a great show. I think last year was insane, and that was the first time they did it.
Yeah.
So this year, I'm sure it's gonna be
I
it's
mean,
gonna be great.
the photo op with Wanda and Vision, like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's a dope one
exactly.
to have.
That's yeah, yeah. No, like I said, if I go, I'm gonna try to maximize like my picture, my photo ops as best as I can. They're usually not too bad, when it comes to organization. They're a lot better about respecting time slots. Sorry, than like celebration. Celebration was a mess, dude.
Yeah, I
Um,
heard.
yeah, but these dudes, and you've been to it.
Yeah,
Usually they're a lot more like, hey, you know what? You got before like you can only enter the area like 10 or 15 minutes before your actual time slot, which does help with the congestion of people right in the area. So but yeah, so what about you? Actually, I don't know if I've asked you. You planning to go through the whole event for SpaceCon? Go a couple of days?
uh, I'm gonna see. We did get a couple of pictures. Some of the guests were returning from
Yeah,
not SpaceCon, but the Superhero Con, the other show that they do.
right.
So we're kind of debating on a couple of them, but for sure, at least one whole day will probably be there. If not, the whole gang, maybe just me in my get up, try to get some
Nice.
more cool pictures like
Yeah,
that.
I know that one's awesome.
But yeah, it's shaping up, and they still have more guests to announce. I think they said there's going to be at least 5 more guests out of the
Yes.
33. I think that's what they
Yeah,
said.
dude. There's a lot. So
Did you
let
say the
me
entire, almost the entire Battlestar Galactica was going to be?
do it. That's another one. That's
I
another
don't
one
think
I'm
you
a
mentioned
huge
it, which I
fan
was
of,
like,
man.
you're a big fan of that one, and you didn't say
I
anything. So
I've been trying to block it from my mind because
yeah,
I'm spending like 2 grand just on pictures, at the show as it is. Um, but yeah, let me share here quickly, just so you guys get a quick idea. So first of all, as I mentioned, some of the Marvel guests right there, and then just like Mike just mentioned, look at that, dude. That's like everybody from Battlestar Galactica. Um, damn it, I want that picture. Um, oh, so
oh,
that's the other one. Yeah. So Paul Bettany.
yeah. I
So
said, did Jonathan Franks cancel again?
yeah, again, man.
Dang, back to
Um,
back.
at least, yeah, exactly. Elizabeth Wilson and Paul Bettany, that would be a really good picture. Really good picture. So these are the Star Trek, actors that would be again minus Jonathan. These are the Star Wars guests. So again, Paul Bettany kind of double dipping, right? Carrie Ann Moss, Billy D. Williams, Natasha Liu Bordizzo, of course. Um,
And today's announcement did
this is
say
not
that's
that.
old. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
old.
old. Yeah.
Uh, they did say today's announcement that there would be one more Star Wars for sure
Yes.
out of the 5 more remaining. So
Correct.
we'll see who they get.
Yeah. And I know they're working on some big names. I can't tell you the last that I heard, and hopefully this is not true, but I think like Mark Hamill is a no go. I don't think that worked out. So just FYI, right? Because I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, like imagine Mark, dude." Yeah, I would drag my entire family to see Mark if that's the case.
Yeah. Happy
But
birthday.
yeah, exactly. Um, to me, in advance. So here is Luke Skywalker just for me. But yeah, I don't think that it's gonna be the case. All right. The last that I heard from the showrunners, it just didn't pan out.
Yeah.
Not that they haven't tried, that's for sure. So yeah, guys, if you are in San Antonio or honestly close to San Antonio, SpaceCon does happen October 24th, 25th, and 26th at the Freeman Coliseum. For those of you that are local, that's basically where the our annual rodeo show happens. So
Yep.
those grounds right there. So yeah, the Freeman Coliseum. They're gonna have again a bunch of guests, a bunch of activities, tons of vendors, a free arcade, which last year was massive, and I think they said it's even bigger this year. So
Yep.
that's nuts. And again, that one is free, dude. Like you just walk up to the machine and just start playing. It's kind of nuts. Um, so yeah, guys. Again, it's gonna be a great show. If you guys are thinking about it, I would highly, recommend it. Again, last year was great, and they're definitely, trying um, to do better right this year. So they're they they're not bringing back, like for example, Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen because they were here last year, and like 2 years before that, I think. So they have been here before. And of course, if you bring him every year, they're not going to be doing great because people are like, I'll just catch him next time,
Yeah.
something like that. So we obviously want every single actor to that comes here to do good. All right, so let me catch up here with the chat because you guys are on fire tonight. I appreciate you. I miss this. I miss our regularly scheduled shows. Hopefully going forward we can keep up with them. Except probably the week of San Diego Comic Con because Wednesday I'll be there already. So maybe we do Tuesday.
Yeah.
Hola, mi amor, says Chris too, sexy Flexly. And I can't say that I blame him. Yes, sir. Flexi SpaceCon for sure. Uh, we got the captain of the Nerd Squad to remind you guys to hit that like button. And we would greatly appreciate it if you follow that order because it greatly helps out the channel to let the mythical YouTube algorithm know that we are doing a good job here. We're back. We're back on Wednesdays, man. It feels good. Yo, look who it is. What is going on? We got Pat on Chronicles in the house. Appreciate you. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you. Uh, to, 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 to. Got our brothers from the Countdown City Geeks. What's up, brothers? Says lies. Who doesn't like JKB? Oh, the list goes on. Hey, what is going on, Janine? Thank you so much for joining us. Hello, all. Appreciate you joining, Janine. Thank you as always. Sending you guys big hugs. Niner says Flex. Scott still winning. Absolutely, man. We got Explore the Force. What are you handsome fellas talking about tonight? What's going on, man? Appreciate y'all joining, man. Good to see you. Hopefully we get to hang out in at RSC this year again. Sexy Flexi says Janine. Brian says I know Gabe lives in Sunday. I'm gonna meet up with him. Oh, nice, dude, for sure. I am down. Let me know. Ultra says Starship Troopers came out in 1997. Yes, dude. Yeah. I kind of wish they would have continued with the animated ones. I was enjoying those quite a bit. There's two of them, but the
I'm ready
last
for
one,
a reboot.
yeah, that's the other
Give me some
thing.
hope.
There was a lot of talk about a reboot like a while back. I'm talking about maybe like 10 years ago, and then on 2012, somebody correct me. I think that's when they released the first animated one, and they brought back uh, Casper Van Diem as Johnny Rico for the voice. So I absolutely love that. And then Trader of Mars was like a few years later. And I also enjoyed it. I enjoyed both of those. So I kind of wanted. I'm like, okay, if we're not getting like new movies, then at least let's keep going with the animated. But they stopped. I'm assuming they weren't like that successful, right?
Yeah.
But I've been playing the game. They have an online game, right? Basically, first-person shooter. It's pretty fun. And then freaking Casper Van Diem, again, General Rico himself, joins in sometimes. Like he's actually playing. And oh, dude, like some of the chats, when they realize it's him, like obviously, his voice, they go wild. Like the squad just gets all fired up. So I still haven't been able to play with him though. I think he's just avoiding me. Must be all the messages. But we got Vicente in the house saying hello, everyone. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you joining, man. Jose walked out of the theater ready to fight, bro. Dude, yeah. He's talking about Creed.
Rocky.
Yeah, dude. I saw that. I was like, let's go. I don't even care. Luis in the house. What's going on? Appreciate you joining. Thank you. Actually, Joe Fix, good evening. What's up, brother? Thanks so much for joining us. We got Rolando in the house, our multiverse moderator, joining us as always. Let's see. Countdown City Geeks booth will have something very special in store for SpaceCon. Yeah, guys. So the Countdown City Geeks will be present at SpaceCon. We will have a booth. As I mentioned, don't be disappointed if I'm not there. There's plenty of cool guys there too. So make sure you stop by, check it out. There's going to be giveaways. There's going to be, like stickers. There's going to be activities. There's going to be a lot of stuff. So make sure you stop by. If you go to SpaceCon, make sure you stop by the Countdown City Geeks booth. Once we have like actual, position of the booth, I will let you guys know. But more than likely, we're going to be close to the stage. We're going to be close to where the panels happen. That's usually, the area that we get assigned, a lot of times. So yes, and if you're not, guys, definitely go check out Countdown City Geeks all over social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc., etc. So you
MySpace.
guys, yeah, exactly. If you can remember your login, by all means. I couldn't. I locked out.
Yeah.
And the Countdown City Geeks, we do a lot of stuff in the geek space, but we also do sports, we do movies, we do advanced screening giveaways, and you don't want to miss those. We got some pretty good ones in the pipeline, especially for the summer. Movie reviews, comic book, authors and artists, interviews, dude, a bunch of stuff. Freaking Ted got to talk to the new Balin Skull.
Yeah, I
Um,
saw that. That was
I
awesome.
was like, dude, yeah, dude, it's awesome. So yeah, doing great things. So make sure that you check them out for sure. Rolando says Janine. Chris saying Rolando in the house. Ultra saying hi to Rolando. Rolando saying hi to everybody. And Vicente and Brian, of course. Rolando says flex. Let's see. Ultra says whatever with the animated Starship Troopers, casting Sam Worthington as the voice of General Rico would make Rico sound more battle hardened. I don't know, man. I thought Casper Van Diem did a good job because he's a lot older, obviously, so his voice still has kind of like that, like a little bit deeper, a little bit raspier, voice. So, Sam's voice, Alex Mason, perfect. Proves why he should be the voice General Rico. It sounds more battle hardened and fits better for the battle hardened. I don't know. Again, Casper Van Diem is my Johnny Rico. As long as he wants to do it, I am all for that. So yeah, guys, check out SpaceCon. Also, since we're talking about conventions, as I mentioned, we are going to be in San Diego Comic Con. But I also wanted to remind you guys, we got a great show coming up here fairly soon, actually, a couple months for Rebel Scum Con, August 8th through the 10th. And they were gracious enough to give us a discount code. So if you guys have not bought your 3-day pass or VIP, make sure that you use the code right here on the screen. It's Kenope 10. All right, it's not an I, it's a 10. So just make sure I didn't misspell it. So make sure you spell it the way it is on the screen so you guys can get a discount. And of course, as always, thank you to our friends from Rebels Comic Con for giving us this opportunity to pass along a little bit of a saving. These
Yep.
days, we can all use a little discount on a lot of stuff. So so yeah, guys.
Also, hotels. Don't
Yes.
forget, I believe the host hotel may be completely sold out, but they do have on their
Yeah.
website. They do have the partnered hotels that are near the area. It's not like right next to the convention, but it's nearby. And I believe all of those also have a discount code to use the rate. If you look on the website, it'll show you each individual hotel has a separate code. So if you haven't booked a room yet and you want to go, get your tickets, then go to the website and get yourself an hotel room.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me actually pull up here the website Rebels.com. Because yes, we got what is it, less than 2 months, right? Or just shy of 2 months. So yeah, if you guys are thinking about it, it's gonna be a great show. A bunch of us are gonna be there, so definitely, we're gonna be hanging out all the weekend. And make sure that you pre-buy, also look pre-order, technically, I guess. Your autographs, your pictures are also available on the website. And let me drop here the link for the lodging. It's gonna be right here in the chat. And let me show you guys here. So this is a little bit of a guide. So Rebels ComCon is right here. You see my mouse? Maybe not. Anyway, that's the symbol, and then you got those adjacent hotels, that you can, possibly book. So they're not that far away. I think I would say within, reasonable walking distance, right? More or less. But again, definitely check out the website, for all the discount codes. to buy your tickets. And don't forget about that discount code on the screen when you do buy your tickets, your 3-day pass, and your VIP. And we also got, whoops, not that one. Where are you?
But still,
Oh, here,
when
guests.
you're there, meet the exhibitors.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely go
There's
check
going to
out. They're going to
be
have a
tons
bunch
of
of cool stuff.
awesome artists,
Yeah.
tons of people selling cool stuff, tattoo artists that I believe there's a handful of them coming. So
yes, that is correct. I was going to say, I got tattoo artist. We talked to our friend TJ, right? And her husband's going to
yep,
be working. So that's going to be pretty cool. So yeah, there you go. We got, your guests. So you can pre-order uh, autographs, pictures, etc. Of course, you're going to have the opportunity to buy them there on the spot too. But, if you don't want to miss out, then maybe you can secure them before you even get there, right? And again, we got a lot of guests. So we got some artists, as Mike was saying. So definitely check them out too. There you go, tattoo artist. So there it is.
yep.
That's Paul right there. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of stuff. Keep an eye out for the canceled guests, okay? Just in case you were hoping for them. I think pretty much all of us were hoping on Julian Glover, right?
Julian,
But
yep,
that did kind of suck. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, he's an older gentleman too, so
yep. I believe they still have the mail-in service too. If you were wanting to get an autograph, I think he's still doing that. I need to follow up with them to make sure that's the case.
yeah.
But it should be on the website somewhere for the mail-in info if you would like to do that as an option.
Correct. So yeah, guys, remember, if you're buying tickets, use the discount code there on the screen, just like the way it's spelled, Canope 10. All right. And get yourself a little discount. And again, thank you to our friends from Rebels Comic Con for giving us that exclusive discount code to pass along to the Bunker Bunch. All right. Action Joe Fix says, I will be in Dallas Forward G.I. Joe show at the end of the month. Oh, nice, dude. Make sure you post that, man. Grab a video on that. Hey, what's going on,
Nice.
Crazy Man
Yo.
Collects? What's going on, brother? Appreciate you joining, man. Good to see you. Ultra saying, hi, we got Niño Grogu in the house. Saludos, Niño. ¿Cómo estás? And one more thing as we are plugging some stuff before I forget. And let me copy this here. All right, guys. So in the chat, there is a Whatnot link for our good buddy right here, Mike, who's been killing it on Whatnot. If you haven't checked it out, make sure that you do. It's this one that you see here. Okay, it's right there on the chat. So you can click it, or you should be able to click it, and it will take you to Whatnot. If you don't have Whatnot, you can always sign up for it. It is free, and then you can start checking out the live streams from the Dad Vader. Make sure you are following him, of course, on social media to know when he's gonna go live on Whatnot, and to check out some of the merch, some of the cards really that he's being showing off there too. So make sure,
or just hang out. You don't have to buy anything. This is
yeah,
also
absolutely.
a social platform. You can just come chill and chat with me and have fun, and maybe you get freebies because you can do freebies on there. And everybody loves freebies.
I do.
And speaking of that, if you click the link, you should, and you haven't signed up, you get 15 free bucks to spend, not on me, but anywhere on the platform. But if you like to spend it on me, you can. But
I was going to say it's not prohibited.
Yeah, and Whatnot has anything and everything you can think of. If you want to buy, what's the new little furry things?
Oh, dude, those labubus.
The boo-boos. There's
Yeah.
people selling that. There's people selling antiques, Star Wars cards, Disney cards. You might even be able to find some used dentures if you need them. Hey,
Probably
could be there.
Probably recently used, depending on how deep you go. Thank you, Vicente, for that. Just follow it on Whatnot. Appreciate you, man.
Hey,
So yeah, guys, definitely go check out the Dad Vader over on Whatnot in the link that is there in the chat. Okay, so all right, so let's cover some of the stuff I want to talk about tonight. There's been a few news, right, coming out of this last week. And the first one that I do want to, get everybody's opinion on, and what you think, because there's some little bit of a mixture of feelings here, but basically they showed the original first print, right, theatrical print of Star Wars from 1977. I'm sorry. Um, After it was recently discovered, you guys remember that from what was it, like beginning of this year, I think, right, or end of last year, um, that somebody found an original cut, right, theatrical cut of Star Wars, and they showed it on the BFI Film on Film Festival in London, where actually Kathleen Kennedy made an appearance. And I thought it was funny because let me see if the quote is here. Do, 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 do. Mm, where is it? Anyway, the point is that she mentioned that it wasn't illegal. That them showing it, was not an illegal like activity, which I thought was kind of funny. Because honestly, I would think that like right away,
Yeah.
them being under the mouse, and then the way uh historically, right, they don't like to take a look at those movies, too much, the theatrical versions, or the theatrical releases, as we've spoken here, before on the show. They're kind of hard to come by,
Yep.
if you want to find an original, uh not special edition stuff, right, they're kind of hard to come by. Last time I believe they were offered was on a bonus DVD for a box set, for a box set. They weren't even the main movies, right? They were just like included as like a secondary disc, which I thought was funny. Um, so yeah, it reportedly though, they were saying, that it didn't look great. It did not, age very well. That reports were saying, basically, that whoops, what is going on? Leave me alone. Um, that you could definitely tell how, practical effects were present, and what was like superimposed, right, or what was added to the back then blue screen, and just kind of like how some of the actors were, how do you call it, standing out more than the background, kind of like that kind of stuff, right, that does obviously doesn't match up too well. um Historically, George Lucas, has always said that he wasn't like very happy with the first cut, right, of the movie. Even back then, saying that, it's like, yeah, sorry guys, that I didn't really get to finish the movie. Like, what you guys are watching is like a half measures, um, for it. But he, very famously went back and retooled a lot of stuff, right? And that's how we ended up with some changes, still back then, and then of course later on with the special editions. Um, One thing to note, if you guys remember, the title of the movie was Star Wars. That's it. There
Yep.
was no A New Hope. That was added way later, actually. So the theatrical cut, basically just says Star Wars, and then it goes into the crawl, right? There's no episode 4. There's no indication of anything else, which I always think is very, uh, people forget, right, that he didn't know if he was going to be able to make any more,
Yeah.
right? He's like, this is my one shot, so hopefully it sticks the landing, and that allows
Yeah.
us to do more stuff. But
He
if
was at
not,
the
hey,
plate, full count. He balls up and he swung, and we didn't
yeah,
know if we were going
exactly.
to get a home run or if he was going to strike out. But
Yeah, very much so, right?
thankfully, now we're here because of all that success. Yeah, thankfully, it was a home run.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. Um, so in my opinion, I I would want the theatrical versions to be a little bit more available. And yes, we all know also sort of the legalities, right, behind it. with Marshall Lucas and all of that stuff. So I understand they probably wouldn't just put it up on Disney Plus, for example, but I wouldn't mind if they would to release them, on a Blu-ray set, or even like a honestly even like a pay-per-view, right? Like if that's their problem, that they would be quote unquote losing money by showing them, which again I don't necessarily think that's the case. I just think not all the money would go to them, right? That's kind of their gripe there. But I'm like, well, okay, put it up for a rental, within Disney Plus, like kind of
Yeah.
like the way Amazon does, or like
Yep.
Hulu, right? Put them up for an added, fee. I don't know, charge $5, so that we may see them. Um, because let's be honest, guys. I mean, it's not like they don't exist, right?
Yeah.
Um,
They're out there. They're hard to
it,
come by, and
exactly, but they're not impossible to get. I mean,
yeah.
um,
You know what they
there
should
has,
do? The Lucas Museum. They should just have a mini
yeah,
theater and then charge, $5 a head with popcorn. She's gotta have
oh yeah,
popcorn.
gotta have popcorn.
With jalapenos. If Nilda's here, she's got to try that. But
Oh
anyway,
yeah,
yeah, just put a little theater in there, screen it all day long, just continuous, and then just let people, make that a part of the little tour right there.
dude. Yeah, imagine. I mean, I think that would
Easy
be a
money.
freaking hit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, what do you guys think, Bunker Bunch? I would pay money to see this, right? Especially in the theater. Oh my lord, like in a theater, for sure. Um, and then this is, what I don't know what is going to happen to that print though. That's what I'm a little bit curious about, right? Like, are they gonna try to preserve it? Are they gonna try to copy it?
I
I don't
mean,
know.
it's history. Like that's got to be
Yeah.
to me. You preserve. You try to make a copy without damaging it, and then you preserve that sucker right there. Um, but yeah, man, that's history, and like as years go by, like we're already living it. Like there's certain cards and certain things that as a collector they jump up in value because they have some of our heroes who are no longer with us. Um, and this is where it all came from, that film, right? So to me, you protect our history because I mean it's what we are.
Yeah, no kidding. And then again, they just recently found this cut, right? Like this copy. So um I would hope, or I would think, like you said, they're doing everything that they can to like preserve it. Yeah, I'm all for, make a few copies, if possible, that it's not an intrusive process. I'm not entirely sure with film this
Yeah,
old, like how would that go, right? But I mean, if they are showing it, right, if they're screening it, then I have to believe that it's in fairly good shape, right?
yeah.
Or of course they could have screened, the copy already, right, of the one that they found. um but still, it's very cool. I mean, again, I just kind of wish it was more available, right? uh you know or make it a tour, right? Like make it a tour, um in, like, for example, in 2 years, right, for the 50th anniversary. It's like, you know what, guys, for a week we're gonna show the theatrical cut, right?
Yeah.
And
I mean,
just like
we
the
we came out pretty hard for the anniversary, Revenge of the Sith.
oh,
So
dude, they made
this
money.
comes out for the 50th. Yeah, you're talking like, hey guys, this is where it all began. This is what started it, and everybody's going to know the expectation that it's not like the greatest, special effects, but this is what
Yeah, but
started the
yeah.
fandom, and you pay homage to it just because it exists. You're going to go to it as a Star Wars fan. If that comes to a town near you, you're
Oh, for
going to it.
sure.
Period.
Yeah, exactly. And then I mean, I don't think it's that far fetched to say that there's a lot of fans they have never seen this.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, younger generations, right? They just didn't get the chance. Like I said, I've seen it, but that's because I probably still have. I need to, dedicate like 3 days to rummage through the garage those DVDs, because I remember getting them, and I was so surprised. I'm like, why is the OGs like on a and it was literally like this too, remember? Like, for those of you youngins here, movies came in DVDs, which are a similar shape as CDs. But longer movies would actually have to be split up because they wouldn't fit, right? So Star Wars wasn't the case. Like they're not super long, like they fit in a single disc. But I remember when I got that, I'm like, why is there another disc like in here? And I'm like, oh, is it bonus? And I was like, yeah, it's like bonus like stuff and the theatrical version. Like
Yep.
in that second disc, I was like, what the heck? Like that's so random. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. And then they never went out again. Like they
Yeah.
never put them out. So kind of rare. I think before that, and people have bought like what is it, the laser disc, right? I think that was also like one of the last official offerings, and those were a while back, like for sure. I mean, we're talking about what, like 30 years ago, if not more. Um, so yeah, again, I it's just one of those things, right? Like they're out there. You can find them if you know where to look, right? And it's one of those things, like if people really really want to see them, they're gonna find them, right? Like eventually. But that's also my point. I'm like, we know people want to see it, right? So
Oh yeah.
why wouldn't Disney try to make a little bit of money, right? On a property that they already own, uh, and just kind of try to put it out there, right?
And
uh,
slam dunk money. It's not like a gamble. Like
no,
it's gonna make money.
yeah. And again, like you said, right? I mean, episode 3, it made real good money this year. So yeah, and that's because I don't think it was, no, it wasn't even shown on IMAX, and stuff like that. Like, which
Mhm.
I was kind of hoping for. I was like, dude, if they do like an IMAX like version, like that's gonna be insane. And unfortunately, they did it. They did a what is it, 4DX, I think, version,
Yeah.
which not everybody has, right? Like only a few theaters support that format. But yeah, it's definitely very very cool, to be able to see something like this. um I thought it was kind of cool that Kathleen Kennedy actually popped up, for this, and obviously talked about the screening and that kind of stuff. um I'm assuming they could have just easily shut it down and be like, no, you don't get to show this, right? um but they went the other way, which again, I think it's the right way. I hope that they got a couple of years, to think about it, plan it out, and maybe we get to see it, right, for the 50th
Yeah.
anniversary, which would be nuts. Okay. Action Joe Fix says, I still remember seeing in 77 in theaters. Nice. There was a theater called the Wonder at Wonderland Mall. Nice. It was located around the area where the Dave and Buster's is, and changed my life, dude. That's so awesome, dude. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, right? I mean, many of us were not around when they were in theaters, and so again, many of us, and for sure younger fans, have never seen the theatrical release. So it would also be kind of cool, right? So they can see, like I said, where it all kind of started, and just how far along, right, like technology has come.
Oh yeah.
um it always gives you perspective, right?
I
Hello
think a
there.
lot of people have seen the like the behind the scenes stuff that they put out, like
Hmm.
talking about like we basically had to come up with how to do this because it
Yeah,
didn't exist. So when you see that and then you get to go see the actual like this is what they put out, you got an appreciation of like, yo, all that hard work they did, like, and they were the innovators of it. Didn't age well, but could you imagine seeing this for the first time that didn't exist in a theater? Like Joe had said, it changed his life. I mean, there was stuff
yeah,
that you could like totally never seen before, and yeah, like I think we need it like now, right now.
yeah. No, I agree, dude, for sure. Do all of them. I mean, do the whole trilogy, right? But this one specifically was, of course, Star Wars, which, uh, again, it's the first one, and again, it's a piece of history, right? In the sense of what we were talking about, that it didn't have an episode number, it didn't have an episode title, right? Like it was just Star Wars. That's it. So I would think, to be able to see that, in theaters, right? It gives you even more of a view, to the past. Um, because yeah, I mean, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi did have some stuff modified, right, later on, but I feel not as heavy as as Star Wars, as A New Hope. And again, of course, we go back to what George Lucas said, right? Like, yeah, his vision was never like complete, right? By the time he had to release the movie. So of course, that's the one that he went back to and modified, heavily. Um, but yeah, I'm all for this. I hope something does come of it. And again, I definitely would not mind paying for something like this.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Vicente says, I just had popcorn with jalapenos watching Ballerina. Nice. There you go, Vicente. You know what's good. I actually saw Ballerina um, last weekend. I'm blanking out, but I saw it in theaters. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
Yep.
Um, I thought she did a good job, and as usual, the choreography on those movies, it's gorgeous. Like it's a fun movie. Um, Keanu, not a spoiler because we know he's in it.
Yeah.
He comes out obviously. John Wick. And then what I didn't remember, because I was a bit confused. I'm like, how did this happen? But then I saw the note that this is what is it? Uh, Parallel, or technically after John Wick 3, but before John Wick 4, right? So that's why I was like, that's why. I was like, I got a little bit lost there in the timeline. But when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. I'm sure they announced it before, but I just wasn't paying too much attention to the movie um, before I saw it. But like I said, I enjoyed it. I do recommend it. Like if you just want to go have fun at the theater, it is a solid choice. Um, Red Six down in the house. What's going on?
Oh, hello.
Says it needs 4K UHD remaster. That's all I'm asking, dude. I'm I'm all up for a remaster, right? That doesn't change anything, right? That doesn't add like additional VFX. Like it's just a theatrical release, cleaned up, right? Digitally, like enhanced. I'm all for that. But like I said, I long to see the actual theatrical release, right? Like uncut, unadulterated, just
Yep.
the way it was in '77. Um, that's it. Just, and yes, it's gonna look kind of crummy. It, I'm sure some spots are not gonna look right, like at all, but I kind of want that, just because again, I never got to experience that in a theater. um and so I would absolutely love it if we have that opportunity, right? um Action Joe Fix says, at the time the effects were groundbreaking. Yeah, dude, and to be honest with you, they still kind of are. Like they set the stage for many techniques and special effects that are still used today, right? Like 50 years later, which is insane to think. um I mean, obviously, the formats have changed, the screens have changed, the projectors have changed, so of course it's not going to look exactly like it did back then. um but again, it's just there's too much nostalgia in there. There's just too much stuff that I would love to see on the big screen.
I mean to speak to the history of it, the company is still in business, still doing work. So that just goes to show you, like, they were the innovators, and because of that, they're still around. It's not because they just a
Oh, very much so.
one hit wonder.
Yeah.
Like, they're innovators, and they're still a part of the industry, and they still do work for not just the Star Wars universe, but they do work for just about every film. So it speaks volumes.
Yeah. Yeah. Very much. um what was I gonna say? The other thing I kind of wanted to touch on, let me share here, is we had a maybe nothing too concrete, but we did have Tamara Morrison talking about Boba Fett, right? And he gave us a little bit of hope, because a little bit of hope was given to him. Um,
Mhm.
he basically he was in Japan at Star Wars Celebration, and so he was speaking that he bumped into Dave Filoni and John Favreau, right? And they said hi, and and they all shared a beautiful group hug. And then he basically asked him like hey, I would love for like, first of all, thank you for letting me play Boba Fett, right? And I would absolutely love for to come back and for a second season, and hopefully keep exploring what the character can do and stuff. And that they were like, like, yeah, right, like they didn't really, they didn't really say like, oh, for sure, or no, that's not gonna happen. So he took it as they got something cooking, right? And they can't talk about it just yet. Which I hope. I mean, and let's be honest, guys. I mean, Boba Fett, one of the most iconic, characters in the entire saga. There's no way, something happens with it, right, in the next few years. Now, I'm not saying something will come out this year, right, for it, but there's plenty of opportunities coming up. Again, with Ahsoka, um, season 2, the Mando movie, even like they can still plug in, a cameo here and there if they really want to. Subsequent movies, of course, the next one, Starfighter. Um, again, there's opportunities for Boba
Yeah.
Fett to come back.
I was gonna
Will
say,
he?
even if they just mention him in any of
Mhm.
the upcoming projects, like, maybe he's the babysitter for Grogu at some point during the Mando. Mando's got to go get something and like go chill with Uncle Boba over here, and
Right?
then that could spin into a different story. I don't think the fans would like, not necessarily a redo, but hey, we were doing some basic drills with the Book of Boba Fett. Let's go ahead and kick it up a notch. It's game time. Like season 2, just blow the roof off. Like I think the fans will show up for it. It's Boba Fett,
Oh, for
period.
sure.
So um, the more we can get of them, the better.
So you bring up a good point. Do you think they would actually do a Book of Boba Fett season 2? Because that, to be honest with you, I don't know.
If it was going to be, because I mean, if we look at the Book of Boba Fett, was it really Boba Fett by himself? Like he had a whole support system. So if they were to dip down into it, I don't know if it would be Book of Boba Fett 2, or maybe they start dribbling into like, hey, we're going to do some bounty hunter type stuff, or
Right.
maybe and this is where I don't know if he would return as a character, but you do a younger version, you do the bounty hunter like squad. Like, I mean, there's options there to go either into the past or continue the story. Um, we have source material for the past,
Oh yeah.
so I mean, I think there's tons of options that they could do. It's a fan favorite character. It just has to be executed, and that's the same with any project that they do. Execution is key.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful we'll see something.
Yeah, me too. And like I said, to be honest with you, in my mind, a proper quote unquote Book of Boba Fett season 2 is less likely. Again, as like a continuation of what they started, right, in season 1.
Yeah,
Um, but as we just mentioned, right, Boba Fett can be used everywhere, right, if they really want to. Um, like you mentioned, right, he can go back to bounty hunting, right? Or if it's a prequel, we see him in his bounty hunting, glory days, right? Um, he can, assist Mando. He can, oppose, maybe even, right, like Ahsoka, right, depending, or like Ezra or the New Republic and stuff. Like, he can still be kind of like the bad guy, quote unquote, right? If interests don't align to what he thinks
yeah.
is right. So there's
Live
a lot.
live action Asajj. Bring them, and they have to duke it out at one point. So we get a couple
Exactly.
episodes of that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, imagine if he goes up against her first, right? And then they're like, you know what? our interests are kind of aligned, so maybe we work together, right? Um, yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to something like that. That's for sure. But yes, so a again, to me, a continuation of the daimyo of Tatooine sort of like storyline. I kind of find that one a little bit harder without getting a bunch of people, to be in a show, right?
Yep.
And the argument can be made that I'm like, all right, well, then it's not a Boba Fett show, right? It's a revolving door for characters to just pop in and do their thing and change the next episode. Um, but yes, there's no way Boba Fett is done. Uh, again, how and when he might come back, that's something that I'm sure Dave and John are working on. And again, they did hint, to Tamura, but they obviously were tight-lipped, right? Like they're like,
Yeah.
can't really say. He did talk about also Ahsoka season 2, right? Of actually like coming back as Rex, and he jokes, he's like, but this time he takes off his helmet, type of thing. Uh, so again, the Tamura Morrison, we'll see him like sooner rather than later, I think. But specifically Boba Fett, I think it might take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, even if we not bury it, but if we put it on the back burner, give us Captain Rex, give us
yeah,
Old Man Rex. I'm down for that.
yeah, yeah, very much so. Yeah, give us Old Man Rex proper now, right? When we actually do get to see him and stuff. Um, and again, there's plenty to do there. And yeah, let us maybe distance ourselves a little bit more from the Book of Boba Fett season
Yeah.
1, which was not uber successful. And then hit us again, right? Hit us again with a
Yeah.
good Boba story.
Circle back.
Maybe a mini series like it. Boba I think would be fine with 6 episodes. Um, because he's a very well established character, right? So you don't really need that ramp up as you do with other shows. You can just drop us right into it, and for the most part, we'll be fine. Like I don't think people will be complaining, like, "Oh, but where does Boba come from?" It's like, "No, man,
Yeah.
we've covered that. Like let's just move on. Let's go into the story." So maybe you don't need as many episodes, right? Like 8 or 10 episodes, um, and maybe that shorter format helps. Obviously, like you mentioned, it's got to be story driven, right? Like it
Yeah.
definitely has to be a proper story for Boba. That is something that I do agree was lacking for Book of Boba Fett. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The the Mandalorian show, at least season 1 and 2, that was supposed to be Boba Fett, right? Instead of the Mandalorian, like that. That's that type of story, that type of world building and like character development. That was meant to be Boba Fett and not a new character, right? Like the Mandalorian. But anyway, I do think it's cool that Tamara Morrison, still wants to play him and is still excited about it. He's still, like even lobbying for it, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I do think that's pretty cool. And again, I'm sure we're gonna see him pretty soon. So let us know in the chat. Let us know in the chat. What do you guys think? Who do we get to see first? Do we get to see live action Boba Fett, or do we get to see live action Rex with his actual helmet off this time? So which one do you think gets to show up on what is the next one? Mm, I guess it probably would be the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. That's the next live action thing that we got going on. And then after that, it would be Ahsoka. And then after that, Starfighter, which by the way, they're starting to film in August, I believe. They're starting to film Star Wars Starfighter, which, dude, they kind of have to. They got less than 2 years.
Yeah.
So whew, it's
And
gonna
if
be
Starfighter is in the name, that means a lot of space stuff, which means
exactly.
probably a lot of space battles, which means a lot of CGI work, a lot of people behind the scenes that don't get too much praise, but those guys will be busy.
Yeah, dude, no kidding. I was thinking about that because they're releasing it in May of 27, right? So I'm like, dude, it's June of 25. Like you got, you know, literally less than 2 years. Um,
But they did say
to
that they already done a bunch of work, like storyboards, I think script they said was already pretty much wrapped up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
my understanding is that they'll start like actual filming, right? Like soon, like
yeah,
in August. But still, right? I mean, you're gonna have to wrap up filming like within this year, right?
yeah.
Like filming's gonna have to go fast, and because then, like you said, right, there's an insane amount of VFX that has to be done.
It's
Um,
literally him in an X-wing the entire movie. It's
yeah,
like
right,
Castaway,
pretty
but
much.
it's like Castaway, but in an X-wing.
Yeah, imagine exactly. And Wilson is a broken down R2 unit, right?
Oh, dude, that with the
Um,
wires sticking out.
do exactly. Yeah, pretty much. He ties it into a little bow or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Now, damn it, now I want to watch that. But yeah, so Starfighter would be the next movie, and it is filming soon. Ahsoka's filming, as our good friend here, Brian, can testify, right? Um, I think he already saw a little bit of something, by the way. He won't say what, but he said it was pretty good, pretty good. So I'm excited about that. Let me catch up here. Explore the Force says, solid movie. Crazy how that one movie has created this lore. It just gets deeper and deeper. Yep, yep, yep. Yo, look who it is. The Wolf Pack in the house. What is going on, brother? Appreciate you joining, man. It's always good to see you, man. Thank you, thank you. Frizu says, man, I sure hope we get more Boba Fett. Yeah, and like I said, we will. That I don't really have a doubt that we will see Boba Fett. It's just how, when, and how much, right? Those are still big questions. Freeze says, do you think the Manda movie will make 1 billion? That's a good question. That's actually a good question. Dude, it takes a lot to make 1 billion nowadays. Like a lot, like almost like a perfect storm type of thing. Um, I feel that this year specifically though, 2025 has been doing a lot better for movies
Yep.
than like last year. Last year it was like like failure after failure and like massive, losses for the studios. I'm not saying there hasn't been, those, because I mean, I think we all remember Snow White. That was this
Ooh.
year. Oh, too soon. But
I just saw that, and
did you?
I, I can confirm we saw it at home, so we
Good.
didn't lose money. We just lost time,
Yeah.
and that's even harder to recoup there. But yeah, it was the critics and the fans were not off on it. It was rough,
No, dude, it was rough. It
very
was,
rough.
yeah. We actually went to the movies to see it because the kid wanted to see it, and literally all three of us walked out like, the heck was that?
Yeah,
Like I was like, I don't know what we just watched, but I'll
I've
never
never
want to
been
see it
more
again.
happy to see credits roll.
Dude, yeah, it was rough, man. Yeah, you know what? Uh, uh, I tried to at least see some good in it. The only thing that I can sort of like point to that I actually kind of liked was the switch they did with the prince, of him being like a bandit. Um,
Yeah,
that to be honest with you, I was like, you know what? That actually makes more sense to me.
that plays better.
Yeah, exactly, very much so. But that's it, dude. Like, I mean, everything else.
I won't point fingers at any one person because I do feel production,
Mhm.
um, and then acting, of course, writing, like everything was off. It didn't seem
No, I agree.
that good. And then I told my family, I was like, you know what really put the nail in the coffin on this one is that it came out after Wicked.
Mhm.
Wicked like was a slam dunk of a movie, and I wasn't that big of like I saw the musical, like the movie coming out. I'm like, I've already seen the
Mhm.
musical. Why do I need to see a movie? I actually sat
Right.
and watched it, and I was like, all right, that was a dope movie.
Yeah.
And then follow it up with that, and it's like people that went to go see Wicked are probably going to be the same people that would want to watch
Very
Snow
much so.
White, and then you're comparing the two, and that's like little apples to horse
I,
stuff.
yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know, dude. Yeah, I was gonna say to like 2-year-old raisins or something, because that's not.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. And you know what? I mean, it's a Disney movie, so usually I'm okay with it. But this one, for some reason, just the songs, just it was something off, like you said. Like it
It
wasn't
felt
just one
forced.
thing.
It felt
Exactly.
forced. Like we're
Yeah.
making this a Disney movie, period. And it's like
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
happy, joyful,
Yeah,
sing. And it's
and
like,
then yeah, but what I was gonna say is, I mean, I haven't counted, or I'm sure somebody has counted, but I felt that there was more songs in this one, like whatever per 30 minutes of movie,
yeah,
right?
like four
Than
songs.
any other. Yeah, exactly.
Like she's
And
walking down
like you
the street
said,
and just starts singing
I
about
felt that
walking down the
maybe like
street.
yeah, I felt that maybe like two of them flowed like organically, and the rest were just like, oh, time for a song, sing. Like whatever's going on the screen, but you gotta sing.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, I don't know. I again, not to bash too much on it. And I'm sorry if it's somebody's favorite movie here of the year, like in the chat, but you have a very very acquired
unique.
taste.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very unique taste there.
yeah, because yeah, I could not follow you on that one. And then the cherry on top is they're like, you know what Mother's Day needs? A re-release of Snow White.
Yeah,
And it
why?
makes like $200 like nationwide. I'm like, who greenlit? Like, who thought this was a good idea? I was like, dude, just take the loss, take the L, write it off, on your tax statement, and move on. But no, they're like, no, we're gonna re-release it. That's what people really want. Um, yeah, I don't know. It was super rough, man. Um, yeah. Oh, I saw How to Train Your Dragon, live action.
I heard that
Uh,
was fairly decent.
yeah, I liked it
Not
actually.
not too bad for
No,
a live action remake.
no, no, no. I mean, I don't remember the animated like shot by shot, like I'm sure some people do. But to be honest with you, that's kind of what it seemed like to me. Like it seemed like literally just a live action, translation, right? Like to it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm actually okay with it. Like
Yeah,
there was no like big surprises or deviations from the story, but I was like, you know what? I didn't want any, so I'm totally cool with watching the same movie like live action. And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, well, then what's the point, right? I just watched the animated. To which I say, go watch the animated. The animated's pretty good too.
yeah.
But the live action, man, the looks of everybody, they just nailed it. And I've always been a fan of Stoic. Like that's like my favorite character in those
Mhm.
movies. Um, I know they're making a second one, and spoilers for like a what is it, like a 12-year-old movie at this point. If you don't know what happens to Stoic on the second one, just yeah,
Yeah.
just try to prepare yourself as best you can for a pretty sad moment. Um, so that comes out in 2 years, I believe. That already the second one. So I'm sure they're confident. I haven't seen the numbers, but I'm sure they're doing good. Um, but yeah. So it's been a couple of good actually like live action uh remakes, right? Um, but a couple of pretty bad ones too. So I'm trying to think what movie has crossed a billion this year. Minecraft, maybe. Let me
Barbie,
see.
did that come out this year? Or was that
No, that
last
was
year?
last year. Yeah.
I know
Um,
Barbie did for
oh,
sure.
Barbie did. Yeah, yeah. Let me see.
I
Uh,
guess maybe Minecraft.
I'm from the ones that like the top of my mind. Um, I would think Minecraft did. Let's see, $1 billion movie, 2025. Okay, so let's see several predicted. No, I don't want predictions. I want like for real. Which one did? Mm.
So says Minecraft here is at the 900 million globally.
Oh no way! So just shy of it.
So just shy.
Dang. So yeah.
909.6 million to be
Oof.
precise.
Oh, I see that. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Lilo and Stitch is doing great apparently worldwide. I did not know that. 864
Ooh.
mil. Dang.
What's the window? As long as it's in theaters, it's still
I believe so. It
okay.
still counts. Yeah. Um. Huh. Mission Impossible doing half a billion. And I thought that wasn't a success run. Well, domestically it did pretty bad actually. Now that I
Yeah.
see that, yeah, domestically it's pretty bad.
Uh,
Interesting.
so not a movie I think in the US. I
Oh, the
don't
first one, right?
know that first one. I don't know what that is. Nisha 2?
Nisha 2. Uh,
That's almost at 2 billion.
yikes.
Holy crap! Holy.
Is this? Yeah, you're right. This is almost at what is it?
After a great
1.9.
catastrophe, the souls of Nisha and Bowie are saved, and their bodies face run. I don't know. It's a
I think this is a
mystical Severcon
Chinese.
Lotus. Yeah, it's not internationals where they're killing it. Domestic, it's only made 20 million.
Yeah, but I think domestic means here in the U.S. because it
Yeah, yeah,
apparently in China
it's blowing
freaking
up
killed.
international.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
So
alone international. It's almost at 2 billion.
yeah. So I think it's a Chinese production.
Yeah,
That's interesting. Yeah, I had not seen that. Now I kind of want to see what that's about. Um, crazy. The 2 billion. You imagine without the
Jesus.
U.S.
I know.
Like
Without us, like
without us, that's
we're like
insane,
we're the popcorn revenue. Like,
dude. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, Freezy, that's what I meant. Like it. Man, the $1 billion mark, has I think have become harder to cross, like by orders of magnitude in the last in the last few years. um so I don't know, to be honest with you, I don't know that Mando would make 1 billion. If I had to like give you an absolute answer right now, I'll probably say no. I'll probably say no. No, it doesn't. Because honestly, dude, I thought a Minecraft movie was like for sure above that, and that hasn't even hit it.
yeah.
And that one was wildly like popular, dude.
And if you look
Everybody.
at a Marvel, which would be Star Wars,
Hmm.
competitor, you would say in the nerd kingdoms here.
Yeah,
Um, both of those combined, Captain America, Brave New World, Thunderbolts combined,
that.
uh,
Yep.
they're well under
Under.
a billion mark.
Hmm.
So neither one of them have crossed half a billion.
No.
Um, so yeah, I mean, you're talking about the Minecraft, Lilo and Stitch, and Mission Impossible are probably the top three.
Yeah.
So yeah, that billion mark is going to be a super high bar for Mando alone to cross.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. So yeah, Frizzy, I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm leaning towards no. What does it need to make to be considered a hit for Disney, dude? I'd say, God, as things are right now, probably upwards of half a billion. Probably like 600 million to be considered like okay, you did okay, right?
Yeah,
Now, if you're talking about a hit, 3/4 of a billion, 750
yeah.
mil, to
You
say no,
gotta.
this was good.
I would say you gotta at least quadruple the production cost.
Yeah,
Um, and marketing, all that built in, baked in. You've got to surpass that number big time. Like
yeah.
when they go to make movies, they're not trying to make break even cost.
No, no,
They're
for sure.
trying they're trying to make some
Yeah.
serious dents and some pocketbooks there. And yeah, where did Snow White come in?
Oh yeah,
Domestic.
Snow White is actually, you know what? I could just share this so we can all see what we're looking
Oh
at.
yeah,
Um, so Snow White is on number 10, which is kind of sad, that kind of movie is number 10. It says 205 mil, which is probably not even the
worldwide,
budget of the
right?
movie.
Yeah,
Sorry?
no, for sure. That's worldwide too.
Worldwide, correct.
That's
Yes,
yeah.
worldwide. Yeah.
You
So
would think,
Minecraft says 953, so it's getting close to the billion. But like I said, I thought it was past it. Lilo and Stitch is the one that surprises me, dude. I did not realize it did that great. I liked it, but I saw a lot of people were not happy with like the changes they did or like the tweaks.
yeah,
I actually enjoyed it quite a bit, to be honest with you. But yeah, man,
I liked
that's
it. Yeah, it was good.
yeah, yeah. I thought, yeah, some of the changes were like meh, but some of the changes I actually enjoyed. I think a little bit more than the
Yeah,
original. Um, yeah, dude, that is crazy. Oh, Sinners did really good. I still have to watch Sinners, man. Have not seen it. And then where are we? Oh, Ballerina's here already. 94. It's not. Oh, I saw this, dude. Karate Kid Legends. Yeah, I I don't know.
I feel like
I
they're going to the well too many
yeah,
times.
exactly. I felt like it was literally just hey, do something, put a Karate Kid label on it, and people will buy it. and I bought it, first of all.
Yeah.
Let me start off saying that. But nah, man, there's I don't want to spoil it because I know it's still fairly new, but in my opinion, just overall my feeling, um, there's not enough, meat there on that bone. Um,
I, I'm gonna say it after Mr. Miyagi is no longer there. It doesn't feel like the same type of movie.
yeah, exactly, and that's the thing, right? I from what I've heard, I have not seen it, but from what I hear from everybody, Cobra Kai like did really good, right? And again, several seasons later, I'm assuming it did good, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been canceled. Um, but to me, it's like whoever made this movie didn't even know about Cobra Kai, like they weren't even aware of it, let alone like
Yeah.
watched it and stuff. Um,
Now, what I've heard about Cobra Kai is it goes into more like it's based in the future of that timeline, and it's focusing on that. It's not so like these films kind of, or they're trying to go back to the roots of everything and follow the same path. It's like you've already done that like multiple times,
yeah,
and after like two, it wasn't that great, and
yeah,
then y'all just keep going back and keep going back, and like it's not working out. Like you hit
and
magic for sure, but
yeah, and I actually enjoyed the first Jackie Chan one from now, like from 10 years ago, right?
yeah.
Um, but that's because, like you said, they kind of went back to the basics, and since it was like kung fu based, like it gave you a little bit different perspective, right?
Mhm.
It was still martial arts, of course, um, but with a different sort of view, right? Um, and so I actually enjoyed it for the most part. I've rewatched it since, like a couple times. So like if it's on, like I'll probably leave it on and watch it. But like I said, this one it just I don't. It's got like no identity.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, just throw mix them up, but just mix them up, put them in a blender, whatever comes out, people will drink it.
yeah.
I don't know. Um, but yeah, so there's that. Oh, there it is, Star Wars. There you go. 55 mil, dude, for a 20-year-old movie that they did nothing to, right? Like they literally just put it out again.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Didn't
Like,
didn't do anything special. Just
no,
slapped it in the real machine, hit the button. All right, make money.
exactly. Yeah, pretty much. Um, so yeah, it's Mando and Grogu does not make 1 billion. That's again, if I had to give a definite answer, right now, I don't see it doing it. I hope so. I really, really hope so, because Star Wars movies, especially, they need a win. All right, they need you know a home run, like and like soon. Um, so yes, Mandalorian is widely popular. Also, if you guys remember some news from about a month back, there's no definite answer on a season 4,
Yep.
right?
I'm
They're
gonna say it's
saying
hinging on this film.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I kind of what it sounds like. It's a wait and see, situation. So
I'm kind of
it could,
scared of that though, too,
yeah,
because it's like, okay, the movie does, let's not say killer. It does great.
yeah,
It's good. It's a good movie. But they feel like it turns into the Rocky. I still got something in the basement. Like, and it's like, okay, you got me for the first few episodes, and then it starts to tank on us, and then it's like, oh,
yeah,
it's going bad. It's like worse than season 3. Like, oh no. And then we ended on a sour note, and it's like we could have just ended it with the movie. Why'd y'all go back
right,
to it? Well,
right,
it's
right,
kind of the
exactly,
moneymaker
right.
we got right now, so that's why we went back to it.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. Um, but yeah, I mean, and there's obviously other options. Like it doesn't have to be a season 4. It could be another movie, right, that caps off the
Yeah.
story. They
Or what we
could,
talked about too was the movie. It doesn't, so the Mandalorian doesn't have to be Mando. Like there's other Mandalorians. So
correct.
we're saying like maybe in the movie
Yeah,
it leaves off, and now it's Bo-Katan taking over the reins for the Mandalore, and
right.
we get to see different stuff with that. But I mean, I do like Mando. It's a great character, but we did see him kind of tell off season 3. So then you have the movie, and then he's right back into being the main guy for season 4. Like it's gonna be. I mean, there's
Yeah.
options we don't know, but it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I absolutely agree. And the how do you call it? The climate, right, of Disney is they're being a lot more conservative with their decisions, right, and their spending, obviously.
Yep.
So yeah, it could very well be, like you said, maybe in the movie there's some sort of passing of the torch, right, and then we that leads us into season 4, or it could be that um, Mando is it's still around. He just doesn't get his own show, kind of like what we just said for Boba Fett, right?
Yeah.
They start just sprinkling him, over the other shows, using where it makes sense, and maybe advancing his story that way, until they basically run out, right, and be like, all right, this dude's out.
Yeah.
He's off to greener pastures, right?
Cooking with Din Djarin.
Yeah, exactly, right. Pretty much, right. This is how to polish Beskar, for 23 hours straight with Din Djarin. So yeah, let me catch up here. Hey, what's going on, Wolfie? ¿Cómo estás, hermano? Hello, everyone. Don't forget to hit the likes. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, guys. Definitely check out Wolfie Collection here on YouTube and on Instagram. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Yo, says the Legacy of Nerd, who just came back from Ranger Stop. Is that right? In Atlanta. Um, he was out there making all kinds of connections and all kinds of content. So make sure that you're always following and checking in on him with social media, and here on YouTube. And again, thank you to our brother Daniel for letting me tag along for San Diego Comic-Con. It's gonna be dope, man. I'm so excited for that. Actually, Joe Fig says there's just something about seeing Star Wars on the big screen, dude. I agree 1000%, because watching episode 3, we've all seen episode 3 hundreds of times by now, I think, but to see it again in the theater, I mean, there's just something special about it, yeah, I mean, it's just nice. Thanks, says Wolfie. For sure, man, for sure. What character would you make a movie about for Star Wars? I don't know. It's definitely tough. There's because I keep talking about kind of moving away from our comfort zone in the timeline. Those same like 50 years, right, of the Skywalker saga. And yes, again, I know we ventured off in the Acolyte, and that didn't quite pan out. But I'm talking about, let's go out a little bit more. Hopefully the Dawn of the Jedi still happens.
That
I
would
won't.
be dope to get. I'm
Yes.
all with you. Like I mean, I'm not saying we forget about it,
No,
but we take a
branch
break
out.
from it.
Yeah.
We love the Clone War era, but if we keep going to that brings us right back to the Star Wars or Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
Now Starfighter, isn't that supposed to be a little bit of a time jump there?
There is,
into the
yes,
future,
correct.
right? So we could see something there, but there's so much lore that we have not touched of the beginnings
dude, yeah.
of
So
the
much.
Force, like the splitting of the Sith and Jedi. Like we don't have anything with that, but there's so much material that we could pull from. The Old Republic, like that's
yes.
I would like to see that successfully done.
Yeah, for sure. There's too many stories, man. That could definitely work, right? Like both visually and story wise. But
we like dark stuff too. Like as a culture, we enjoy like the dark side of these characters.
Yeah,
and there's some really good Sith that basically defined what the Sith were that we know as Sith, like the tellings of how they became, like how there was a bunch of Sith and now it turned into the rule of two. Like
I was gonna say, just give me a Darth Vader movie.
Yeah, exactly,
dude. I mean that it's a character that's known but not super well known, right? Yep. And it's a character that influences a lot the saga, but wasn't exactly in the saga, right?
Yep.
So give me that, give me that. It is a little bit farther away, but not super removed at the same time, that the importance of him, right? um and how it had repercussions and all of that, right? Like into the stuff that we already know. So it's okay. Like, still give me some connective tissue. It's still Star
Yeah.
Wars, right? It's still in the same galaxy and everything. But let's not make it, like you said, Clone War Empire era, and that's it. Or First Order, for that matter. Um, and if not, dude, give me a Cheese Empire movie. Like the Thrones race. Give
Oh yeah.
me how the heck did they become so good? Like, how did they become a military power, right? Give me some of that. I'm all for it. It doesn't have to include Jedi, as we've seen with Andor, right? If you give me a good story and it's got the Star Wars elements, it's gonna be awesome. Um, Action Joe Fees, how about a Cad Bane adventure? Um, while I actually like Cad Bane quite a bit, if I'm being honest with you, and I said it here in the show a couple weeks back, with the Tales of the Underworld. I was a little bit let down with the Cad Bane sort of arc. It gave us some insight for sure, but at the same time, it was very linear. It was very like straightforward. Like, within 2 minutes of watching the first episode, you knew exactly what was going to happen, and it did. That's what honestly surprised me. I'm like, surely they're not just gonna do this, and then he takes out his dude and his kid and blah blah. And nope, that's exactly what they did. So I was like, oh dang it, man. Like, I felt that Cat Bane deserved better, like a little bit more, again, essence to the character. um would it be fun? Absolutely, right? I mean, Cat Bane, Cat Bane hunting Jedi, I think would be very fun. um,
Oh yeah.
like pre Clone Wars, era, when he's like specializing in bringing in Jedi and stuff like that. I think those would be pretty fun, like adventures. Um, but again,
Then
maybe
you could do the tie-in with Boba.
exactly, that's what I was gonna say. You can always do the Boba training, right, and their fallout and all that good stuff. Uh, Heck, give me Cad Bane versus Jango Fett, right? Like, why did he hate him so much? Like, give me that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Wolfie says, I'm agree. What about Quinlan Voss and the Path? Yes, but to be honest with you, I would like that to be more of a miniseries. I would like that to be more of a Disney Plus show
Yeah.
with Quinlan Voss and the Path. I feel that story has enough, again, meat on that bone to give us like 6 to 8 good episodes, right? Because now we got a couple of things. We know Kenobi, is around, right? And we know that Asash is around and kind of involved with the Path, right? Kind of not, right? It could happen. Um, but we also know Barry's Ophi, right? Was kind of helping with the Path too. So now we got some good elements that if you put Quinlan Boss like in the center and use them, I think they would make for some pretty dope stories, to be honest.
You could
Um,
also bring in the live action Jedi Survivor.
Dude, yeah,
Drawing a blank on the dang character's name. Uh,
yeah, Cal,
Cal Kit.
yeah,
We could bring him in as a part of that storyline too. So you have a lot of connected tissues to bring, this one big, like, hey, Order 66 happened, Jedi are spread out all over, and the center of the story is Quinlan trying to save the younglings or trying to get people that are,
exactly,
and then that also ties into, Obi-Wan, how like maybe he'd reach out to him, try to, he's like, Obi-Wan's like, nah, I got a mission, and you can bring Darth Maul back because,
yeah,
hey, he's still around. So I mean, that would be a good vocal point to do some interesting stuff. But I think show wise, it should be a show. I don't necessarily think it would be too much to do as a movie.
exactly. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. I'm like, there's plenty there to explore. Um, or even Mace Windu surviving in hiding. Yes. So there was actually another article where uh, Bryce Dallas Howard, right, was saying that she bugs Dave Filoni quite a bit about how would Mace Windu, come back because she wants to work with Samuel L. Jackson, and that and that they had some fun conversations, out of it. But she did say it didn't really amount to anything, right? Of course, that could just be her, some misdirection. Um, but I am sure there's no doubt in my mind that Dave Filoni has some sort of story, right? Where
With that dude, you just give him a little spark, and then his
oh, dude,
brain will
he
take off.
yeah,
So if
exactly.
she brought it up, that's all we needed, and hopefully in 2 years we have something.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. So I would say those conversations would not be wasted. I don't think. Um, so yeah, I'm all for that. That would be super super fun. But the last thing that I want to talk about here quickly before we say good night is for those of you who weren't on my live stream on Saturday, um, we got our San Diego Comic Con 2025 Hasbro exclusive, the
Yes.
Black Series definitive um, Obi-Wan versus Anakin 2-pack. Look at this thing. This thing is nuts. First of all, it comes, with everything that you see here, including real life lava. They'll mail it to you. Look at the portrait, dude. I mean, come on.
That is
Uh,
a figure we needed for Anakin. That's
oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say Obi-Wan. I was appeased, like two years ago with the new molds
Mhm.
for the show, right? But those were not episode 3, right?
Yeah.
This one is, which again, we an episode 3 Obi-Wan, we definitely need it. Um, so we got quite a bit of stuff. All these poses are awesome. So these that you see here are actually included with the figures, guys.
Finally.
Yes, I know, right? It only took him 20 years, literally. Well,
If
okay,
they just Yeah, I
yeah,
was gonna say if they just sold like a pack of like just random Jedi hands, like I would buy that because I'm tired of the trigger finger.
yep.
Like I want the
The
hand
the
or
trigger
something.
finger that doesn't grab onto the lightsaber properly.
Yeah.
Um, that looks awkward when you put them both together and he's doing like that.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what is that? Um, yeah, no, so credit where credit is due. In my personal opinion, and from what I have seen from you guys in the community, I think Hasbro kind of knocked it out of the park with this one.
Oh, definitely.
Um, so this is more of the actual product. So you get a base, you get that lava fiery effect, you get that droid. The droid does not float on its own, FYI. Um, you get Obi-Wan, you get Anakin, you get that lightsaber clash that you're seeing there. And look at that. I mean, come on. Just with that, that looks amazing. Let me see. No, it doesn't
The
show it here.
only thing that I know somebody's gonna do it or figure it out
Uh-huh.
is I would want it to the base to light up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only
I
thing
agree.
that I wish that they would add, just a little like one or two little LEDs just to make that fire pop underneath them.
Mm-hmm. Here, this guy put a good compendium of
Oh,
what's
there you
in
go.
it. So
Oh, it
um
even has the lightsaber swings?
yes, it does, which
Dude.
Hasbro did a poor job of showing, to be honest.
Yeah, I
Again,
didn't
that's
know
what
that
I'm
was in
that's
there.
remember I was telling you, I was like, dude, even when Hasbro does good, they do bad. Like so this is everything that you get in that 2-pack. Obviously the figures, you get alternate portraits as you see here. You get force push hands, you get swinging lightsaber blades, you get lightsaber clashes, you get the platform and the fire and the droid with the fire. Technically lava on both of them. This is me, by the way. I posted that. I'm like, sold.
Yeah, all my
um,
money.
yeah. So um, for update, this will cost $110. All right, this set.
Worth it.
Yeah, 109.99. And it's funny to say that because here Black Series Cantina was saying basically the same. It's like I think it's a great value for 110. For example, compared to like the Star Killer, right? Which I liked, I own, but I do agree the 110 was steep. And yes, I know what you guys gonna say. This should be like $50. This should be like $60. I'm like, with everything that's been going on in the last few years, we're never gonna go back to those prices,
Oh, yeah.
guys. Like let's just be honest, okay? Figures are probably never gonna go below $20 again, right? Um, heck, at this point I would settle for 22. They're what, 25, 27 at this point.
Yeah.
Like I think 25,
Deluxe
right? Oh,
32,
deluxe are like
right?
33, 34. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. um so yeah, guys, I know what you're gonna say, but those prices are from 10 years ago. That just doesn't hold
Yeah.
up anymore. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that, but just being a little bit realistic, right? But given what we have seen in the last few years, I actually think 110 is a pretty good price, like fairly priced. I'm not gonna say it's cheap. It's not cheap. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I am trying to say that it's a fair price, right? Um, Two figures for 25 bucks a pop, right? You call that, $50, and then $60 for the alternative head, which you don't get with a regular figure.
Yep.
The alternate head, again, you don't get that with the regular figure. The lightsaber effects, again, you do not get those with the regular figure. Um,
I
except
think the only one I can think of was Dooku.
Dooku, exactly.
Had a swinging blade.
Who else had a swinging blade?
Somebody else did
Was
too.
it Vader? Um,
One of the Vaders, think
Maybe. Now I'm blanking out.
had a
Dooku
so-
for sure, because Dooku is one of the best red box figures, like,
Yep.
period, dude. That figure had no business being so good at that point in time. Like,
Yeah.
it was an outlier for sure. Like, Dooku is one of those that I'm like, how the heck did you pull this off like 6 or 7 years ago? Um, anyway, but what I was gonna say is, so the way I look at it, this is like almost like a three-parter. So you get the figures, right? Then you got the figure accessories, right, over here. Then you have the, if you want to call it, stage or diorama or base, etc., right? So again, you get all of that, which you never get on a regular release or even a deluxe release, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Even with deluxe, you don't get like as many effects and portraits and hands and stuff.
What's
You
the
get
most recent deluxe? It would be Tanaka.
um I think so. I think so.
Not counting the celebration Ronin, not
Yeah,
counting
yeah.
that one.
Right.
I think that, and with him, you get a lightsaber,
Yeah.
a Wookiee with a lightsaber
Yeah.
for 33 something and some
33.
change.
Yeah. I mean, heck,
So,
even like the droidica, right? Which I love. Don't get me wrong. Like,
oh
I'm
yeah,
so glad they made it, but even then, you only get what, like a blast or a shield effect, and that's it. Like, so technically, you only get one accessory. Sorry. Um. So yes, once again, guys, I'm not saying you should buy it or not. I'm just saying, in my
you
personal
should
opinion,
buy it.
yeah, if you don't buy it, you're wrong. But
Yeah,
I'm
period.
not saying that. But in my personal opinion, the price is actually pretty good. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh, Again, if you can get it for the 110, which again leads me to it's Hasbro, guys. Okay, so somebody's gonna botch something, you know, probably pretty soon. So in theory, my understanding is that this will be offered during the show, right, during San Diego Comic Con, and then afterwards they are supposed to go up for pre-order or direct sale. I'm not sure, at Hasbro Pulse, right? I have not seen a date. If somebody already saw a date of when they're supposed to go up, please let me know. Um, but
hopefully
again,
they don't do like the celebration and like the next,
the next, yeah,
not
the
even
next,
not even the
not
next
even,
day. It was like
yeah,
the
the
next
next
8
morning.
hours
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, so yeah, and if they do, jump on it for sure, right?
for
To
sure.
anybody
Yeah,
that
don't
wants
sit on
this,
that.
like, jump on it. Again, I will be at the show, but I've never been, so I don't know how complicated it is to try to score any of these exclusives. I'm assuming it's not easy, because otherwise, this would be like all over the market. Now, some people have said that over the last like 3-4 years, the exclusive have gone um, a lot more attainable than before. So, but again, this is my first time, so I'm not entirely sure what to expect. If anybody has bought an exclusive from Hasbro during SDCC, at SDCC, let me know. Um, I like to hear, kind of like what that experience is like. But yes, guys, this thing is gorgeous. We do have. Let me see if we do have it. Where are you? Where are you? I'm trying to show you guys the actual packaging.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like, it's not just a
This is,
square box.
yeah, exactly. Where is it? I think it's on the Hasbro Pulse. Did they're so bad at posting their own stuff, man. I don't understand it.
What
You
is
know
that?
what?
Is that just pictures there?
Yeah, but it's just it's not even all of them. I'm just gonna go with Yak Face, good old Yak Face. I'm sure he posted it at some point here. So
Yes.
that's the front of the box, which again, very cool, very Black Series. And then we have, oh come on, don't let me down. Where is the open box packaging? Come on, guys. Okay, I guess
TBD.
yeah, but no, I have it. I showed it right here. Now I can't find the picture, but so I'll show my picture. So this was a screen grab.
Yeah.
So this is what the packaging looks like. It's not a great picture. I do agree. Um, but look at that. I mean, the accessories are on the side. You do have a background. They are kind of posed, you know. So in my mind, one of the biggest, you know, questions is like, do I open this? Like, if I do get it, um,
You
and the
get
answer
one
is
to
maybe.
open and one to keep
Oh,
sealed.
dude, for sure. Um, I will say that I kind of need to see better pictures of the
Yeah.
packaging, right? Um, and maybe once I see it like live, I'll be like, you know what, these do look pretty good the way they're posed currently with the background and all that stuff. Um, but again, with the limited information that we got on the packaging, as of today, I would say I would probably open them. I would probably open them
I
to post them, you know,
was
properly.
about to say it's the first time it's coming out with the base and everything like that.
Yeah,
Like, it kind of screams open me.
yeah, I
So I
agree.
do believe there will be a ton of people if they limit the quantity to like two, people are gonna buy two just because that they want to display it and they want to collect it. And
Hmm.
so you're gonna get the best of both worlds. You're gonna be an opener and keep it in a
Yeah,
box. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, for sure. Actually, Joe Fix, I'm actually working on my own 3D printer. Oh, nice.
very
Hey,
nice.
we got Kentucky in the house. What's going on, man? It's a mini sideshow and packaging. It has its value. Yeah, like I said,
Yep.
I'm actually okay with the price for, and I haven't said that in a long time. Brian says I'm gonna display this with my Mustafar diorama I made. Dude, yeah, but your diorama is awesome, dude.
Yeah,
So
that's
I would for sure, you know, do that if I had your diorama as well. Um, IG-12 and Kelnaka. Yeah. See, at least IG-12, it gave us what, three no, yeah, three minifigures, right? Two
was it three?
Ancilians. Well, it's two Ancilians, right? Two Ancilians and
I think
Grogu.
it's yeah, two and a Grogu.
Yeah, right?
I
It's
think
two Ancilians.
well, I got
Oh
it
no.
over there, but I can't see the lights are off. But
I could have sworn it was three total. Or like I said, two Ancilians and one Grogu. But like my point is that at least with that one you get a little bit, you know, a little bit extra on it. But yeah, Kelnaka, it's just it's just a slightly bigger figure,
yeah,
right? Um,
with the lightsaber.
correct. Yes. Kentucky says you got to be in a cool kids club and they limit quantities. Oh, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure. And I am not cool at all. I have a few more on speeders from last year. Oh, I actually don't have that one. So we'll talk. What up? Says Kentucky. Um, so yeah, guys, again, this is an absolute, you know, pickup. Again, if I can get access to it, I would definitely buy this. Um, keep an eye out again for the Hasbro Pulse release for this item, you know, um, because that's probably going to be the best option for a lot of people, for most people, I would think. But yeah, I'm trying to get this for sure. Um, I don't know how limited it is. I don't know how many you can actually buy, if you can buy more than one, et cetera, right? But the point is that I definitely want it. Um, so yeah, if anybody else is going and you don't want it, let me know so I can use you to buy it. For, you know,
Here,
because
stand here.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. because I'm sure it's some sort of lottery, it's some sort of ticketing system or something like that, right?
Just tell them you know Kentucky or Tony. I'm pretty sure they either name would work.
Yeah, right, exactly. To get me kicked out of the show. Um, but yeah, this one,
Right to
dude.
Joe.
Yeah,
Right to
right.
Joe.
Hasbro has been cooking with their exclusive, man. I mean, the Ronin is phenomenal. I absolutely love that packaging. It's so good. Um, this one again, I kind of feel they could have gone a little bit harder on the packaging, but it's hard to complain when they gave us so much more. I mean,
Oh
the
yeah.
base, the
All the
the
accessories.
accessories,
Yeah.
the portraits, the hands, dude, the freaking force push hands. That's what I'm like, dude. We
As
haven't
soon as I
seen that
saw
in.
that, I'm like, dude, about freaking time. Like, give me,
Yeah,
like I said, give me like every Jedi just a package of their hand, and I'm sold.
yes, very much so. Also, it is my understanding that the bodies are new sculpts as well. Now,
Ooh.
I don't know if it's brand new, like head to toe. Somebody probably here in the chat knows. Let me know. But it's my understanding that if nothing else, I think a lot of the lower body is new. Um, Again, to increase like the flexibility and the posability, right, of the
Posability.
figure. Yeah. So
Do you
again,
have the the Anakin?
the OG one, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he doesn't pose very
No,
well in typical Anakin fashion.
yeah,
Like
that's what I was gonna
he
say.
can do
That
your standard moves, but if you try to do something that Anakin did,
nah.
because you Anakin had some weird angles, and like
Yeah, yeah.
in the movies, you try to duplicate that, he just constantly falls
No,
over.
you're out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, very much so. So yeah, a very much needed update. Now, again, guys, to clarify, more than likely the figures themselves, they'll be out later on the year on the regular line, right? I don't think they would just exclusively make those figures for the set. However, what I think might be more exclusive are the effects, the
Oh
hands,
yeah.
and the base, like the droid and the platform. I kind of feel that those would be hard to for them to offer in the regular main line.
Just give
Um,
it time and order 66, guys. Kentucky, Bobby,
oh yeah,
Josh, you guys, they'll have it on the show at some
they'll
point.
have it
Loose
for
as
sure.
well. They find all
Yeah.
the good stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Kentucky says you need to get chose in the lottery last year. There you go. I'm sure they'll do something similar this year. So yeah, again, I'm definitely gonna try because I
I
definitely want it.
I would really enjoy it if they did the Jingle All the Way, where it was a little rubber bouncy ball,
Oh, dude, I
and they
remember that.
just threw it into the crowd, and all of y'all are just fighting for it. That would be the
Exactly.
best way to do the lottery for y'all.
Dude, again, I might have to, channel my inner Creed on that one because I want this thing. Like yeah, I was like, I gotta watch it. I'm gonna be watching Creed, on my phone to get hyped. Because yeah, dude, I really want this one. This one's real nice. But yeah, let us know what you think about this exclusive. It's definitely not the only exclusive we're gonna get in the show. I haven't really seen many be revealed yet, and we're like a month away. So I'm like, I kind of want to know what's gonna be out there.
Yeah,
I missed out on the Micro Galaxy Squadrons one last year. I actually had a friend try to and get it, couldn't get the lottery. Um, so I'm fairly certain there's going to be something for this year. It's just a matter of what. Um, and of course, there's plenty other San Diego Comic Con exclusives for other toy brands, right? You know which one I'm kind of hoping? McFarlane Doom, the video game,
yep.
because there's a new Doom game right now. So I'm kind of hoping they do an exclusive. Well, kind of hoping and not, because if they do, I want it. Like it's automatic.
I was curious if they're gonna drop any new Predator stuff. I
That
don't know
too.
if the windows. I mean, they get toys out quicker than the movie comes out or shows come out. So I hadn't seen anything new yet. I mean, haven't been paying too much attention to the franchise, but I'm pretty sure there should be something cooking, and this would be the perfect time to drop it. So
Oh, dude, they've been doing good. The franchise. Well, I'm sorry, the like on the movie side, right?
yeah, yeah.
Killer of Killers is pretty fun if you haven't seen it. Um,
Well, I was saying like the
the toy
collectibles on
line,
that. Like
yeah.
I haven't paid attention to that to see if anybody's dropped anything.
No, I haven't seen anything from like NECA, for example. I
Yeah,
think Hia, is it Hia who has the license also, or they did at one point, not that long ago. But I agree. So the what I was gonna say is they got some stuff for sure, to draw from, in the latest drops. Alien kind of seems to be ramping up too, so I'm sure,
yep.
there's they kind of go hand in hand. So yeah, so I'm kind of looking forward to that, non Star Wars, right, exclusive. So I'm kind of hoping for a Doom figure, exclusive. um and then yeah, I mean, what was I gonna say? Oh, like Sideshow slash Hot Toys. I don't know how they're gonna handle their partnership this year, for the exclusive. So we'll see what they come up, if anything, right, for it. But yeah, man, I again, as of right now, this one Hasbro is number one pick for sure. So we'll see how easy or how hard it is to get one. But remember, guys, keep an eye out for the announcement of when the pre-orders go up on Hasbro Pulse. Um, it might be pre-order, it might be like buy now type of thing, as in it ships, soon, depending on how Hasbro does it. Um, Kentucky says Micronex gun was so hard to get. They only had like 200 a day, dude. If they had 2,000 a day, that would still be short, I
Still be
think.
tough. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So we'll see about this year. Alrighty, guys. So we are here at the 2 hour mark. Since I don't work tomorrow, I'm like, yeah, let's go. So I appreciate, first of all, every single one of you hanging out with us, leaving us your comment, your likes. Don't forget, please, to follow us on social media, on Instagram, the Dad Vader. Remember that D is what sets him apart. So make sure you spell that right. We are also on Facebook, General Kenobi's Bunker, all one word. Instagram, general.kenobis.bunker. We are also on TikTok at general_kenobis_bunker. Yes, we're on Threads at general.kenobis.bunker. And we are trying to revive a little bit. I've gotten like 3 subscribers in the past month, which is awesome. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying. On our second channel, El Búnker del General Kenobi, where we produce content in Spanish. Make sure that you check it out. Last, before we leave, remember, guys, special discount code for all those of you. Wow, that was not a sentence, I should say. That are buying 3-day passes and VIP passes for Rebels Come. Use our discount code that you see right there on the screen, Kenob10. That's right. That's KENOB10. All right. Just like it's spelled on the screen. So you guys can get a little discount. And once again, thank you to our friends from Rebels Come for providing us with this discount code so we can pass it along to you, the Bunker Bunch. And I think it goes without saying, but we're going to be out there. Okay. We're going to be out there in August. So I am very, very much looking forward to hanging out with all of y'all. All right. So with that, I think we are going to call it a night. We're going to call it a show. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. Um, and make sure, that you are keeping up with the Dad Vader whenever he goes live on Whatnot. Just pop in, just hang out. You
Yeah.
could win some free stuff. He's definitely got stuff that you might want to buy, so also check it out. But again, even if you don't buy anything, you can just pop in, hang out with him, and look at some cool cards. So thank you again. Oh, and that link is on the chat, by the way. Mike's Whatnot. So make sure that you check it out and check him out over on social media to know when he's gonna go live. All right, I think that is gonna do it for us. Thank you again. Stay safe, stay dry, stay hydrated. By the way, 'cause it's getting warm out there. Yeah. All right. So y'all have a good night. And I'll catch you on the next one.